if you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
This is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York. You guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
Forget everything you thought you knew about the View drama. This time, it's not about Sunny Hostin. Nope, it's about her husband, Dr. Emanuel Manny Hostin. And let me tell you, the internet is losing it over what just came out. Stay tuned because this one's about to get crazy.
The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow.
Dr. Hostin, who's an orthopedic surgeon, fancy doctor for bones and joints, found himself in some clutter of bones of his own. His practice, Hostin Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, got hit with some heavy accusations, insurance fraud, and a connection to a massive RICO lawsuit. When I say massive, I mean 180 defendants involved. This isn't just a case. It's bigger than that. So you want to know about this RICO stuff in detail?
If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. Let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality and equality.
The RICO Act, short for Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act, was made back in the day to go after the big-time criminals, mobsters, gangsters, all that shady Godfather-type stuff. But guess what? This time, it's not the mafia in trouble. It's doctors, surgeons, and medical practices. Yep, instead of feeling like a Goodfellas scene, this filmy drama is more like Grey's Anatomy, but with a side of fraud. I mean, it does seem like it, whether it's all true or not.
The Sunny Hostin that we all love from one of my favorite shows on The View, and it's always, Tom, what'd you always say? It's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right?
Dr. Hostin and others were allegedly running a scam to squeeze money out of the healthcare system. The accusations? Kickbacks for surgeries that might not have even been necessary and some procedures that might not have even happened. Patients going into surgery, insurance companies footing the bill, and money swapping hands behind the scenes like some high-stakes game in a hospital. Let me know your thoughts on this. Joe Rogan didn't hold back either. He roasted Sunny and Whoopi on The View. He said Sunny is ideologically driven and has blind binders on. He also called out the View host Whoopi, saying she is dumb and doesn't make any sense when she speaks. It's just silly. I mean, that's hurtful, man. But not as much as what Patrick and Tom said in the PBD podcast. Trust me, that is next level.
I think date night with Sunny and her husband are being a little interested. How'd it go today? Oh, it was terrible. I had to read this legal statement into a camera and I'd do what they told me. And her husband's like, so did I! I had the same day!
These commentators seem to be calling out Sunny for lecturing people about morality, equality, and the issues in the country, while her husband is being accused of some shady stuff. They're mocking her for talking about those serious topics while her personal life is being questioned. Bold, isn't it? And it's ironic because Sunny has been so vocal about certain issues, but now her own family is in a big mess that could make her look out of touch with reality. A lot of people feel like it's hard to take her seriously now, especially if she wasn't aware of what her husband was allegedly doing.
What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips. I know you do.
It's just like
Twice
my
a
favorite.
day.
Here's all I hear from her. America's violent, America's racist, America's bad. Okay.
What's even more hilarious is that they're dragging her on her constant moral lectures about racism and inequality while making it clear that no country is without flaws, none. You can almost hear them say, "All right, Sunny, if you think America is so messed up, show us a country that isn't." They're really pushing back on her whole fake persona, and honestly, they've got a point. Sunny's always quick to point fingers at everyone else, but now that the tables are turned, it's pretty hard to take her seriously. Can we just admit how crazy it is that someone who talks so much about justice and fairness is now dealing with a RICO lawsuit about her husband's shady business dealings?
Mostly everything that's been said. I mean, we know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
In an episode of The View, Sunny Hostin mentioned that her husband, Dr. Emanuel Hostin, sometimes has to sue insurance companies to get paid for the surgeries he does, especially when patients don't have insurance. She was talking about how messed up the healthcare system is, how insurance companies make it hard for doctors to get paid, and how doctors like her husband get stuck in the middle of that mess. Wait, hold up. Sunny's out here making her husband look like a saint stuck in the healthcare mess, fighting the big bad insurance companies? That's wild! She's acting as if Dr. Hostin is just a poor doctor trying to get paid for his hard work. Why is it always those who are the loudest about the system's flaws end up getting their hands dirty with it too?
On national television, I cannot believe that this woman still has a job, even though she is extremely uninformed and she gives the absolute worst takes on The View.
I mean, Sunny might have hinted at issues with insurance companies and her husband that later got linked to a big lawsuit. And now, as we know that the insurance company accused him of overdiagnosing patients to make more money off insurance claims. The lawsuit is based on the idea that doctors like Dr. Hostin were taking advantage of insurance laws in New York, specifically the no-fault law, which says insurance companies must pay for medical expenses from car accidents. And guess what? Sunny has been quiet about the whole thing on The View, which viewers find a bit weird because she's usually outspoken about moral issues and pointing fingers at others.
So there are a lot of problems with it, but the notion that we aren't a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country, and it's just undeniable that that's the case. And so I'm not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence. I'm not surprised.
And on the other hand, Sunny's offhand comment about her husband's struggles with insurance companies seems to have brought attention to this issue. So whether she speaks or not, she is in trouble. While Sunny hasn't been sued directly for her comments on TV, her husband's being dragged into a huge legal mess because of the allegations about fraud. People have mixed opinions on the situation. Some think it's a setup by the insurance company, while others are skeptical about whether everything is as innocent as it seems.
She is not going to take this, lying down. This is a woman who is ready to fight and defend her husband, not only defend her husband, but defend her family.
Hold on, y'all, because I heard in response to all this drama, Sunny Hostin has publicly denounced the lawsuit, describing it as a frivolous civil lawsuit and a disgusting media smear campaign aimed at her family. She asserts that American Transit is attempting to avoid paying for legitimate medical procedures by targeting her husband and leveraging her celebrity status to generate negative publicity. The Hostins have retained attorneys Mark Garagos and Daniel Thwaites to represent them and have announced plans to file a $5 million countersuit for defamation. So one thing is sure, she isn't really quiet after all, right? And trust me, this case is getting messy day by day. Manny's lawyer says the lawsuit is nonsense and just a desperate move by the insurance company, Attic, to get money because they're going broke. But the insurance company says Manny and others were scamming them by doing surgeries on people, like Uber and taxi drivers, that weren't needed. And people are talking a lot about Sunny and her husband, and trust me, nobody is going slow on them. It's like they all were waiting for it to happen. Don't believe me? Have a look at this. Isn't she a lawyer? She knows everything about everything but didn't know her husband is a criminal. Whoa, this was a mock on her face, no? Sunny Hostin deserves everything she gets. At first glance, this comment might seem positive, but you just know people are going to twist it into something negative. I can already feel it. And wait, here comes another one. Both are criminals. Damn! Sunny and her husband should be held accountable. They are going to jail. Well, bold of you guys to assume that because nothing is confirmed yet. Sunny and her husband are really catching heat. It's wild how fast people jump to conclusions, right? One rumor, and you got the whole world against you. Honestly, it's wild how fast people jump to conclusions. Sometimes I can't help but think maybe banning comments wouldn't be the worst idea ever.
Emanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket scattershot meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier.
But then, who will tell me if Manny is just a good guy fighting a bad system, or is he part of a massive healthcare scam? Is the insurance company legit, or are they just trying to blame doctors for their financial problems? I guess time will tell. For now, it's all allegations. No one's been proven guilty yet. But the drama's far from over. You've heard the allegations, the predictions, and what people are talking about. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.